Just tell me when it's
very important. The National Apprenticeship Service have been our partners from day one. When we first burst into John Myers' office in Manchester, Jackie Garner, my operations director, who is officially the brainchild of this operation, we burst into John's office and decided that we wanted to open an academy. We thought he was going to absolutely hysterically laugh and kick us out. He didn't. He listened intently before laughing, but since then has been the most active supporter. John, Sue, and today we'd like to welcome the COO of the National Apprenticeship Service, our new favourite person, David Way. I'm here to officially welcome you to our launch of our Academy business in Liverpool. Come on, Liverpool. We said we could do it, and here we are. I'm sure you're aware, this site is only one of 2 sites at Liverpool, and our other site, which opens this week on the Wirral at Tranmere Rovers. So a very big day for us. We've got some fantastic guests, but I'd also like to thank all you guys just for coming today, showing your support, your continuous support for our students. We are incredibly passionate about our students. We're incredibly passionate about what we do. We're incredibly passionate about their careers. And to see you guys turn up here today, it fills us with hope. And thank you very much for being here. I'm going to kind of act as compere today. There's no jokes, unfortunately, unless anyone's got some, because I'll certainly tell them. But my first role is to introduce your speakers. We're very fortunate to have many speakers come today who are here to voice their support. To kick us off, the chairman of the De Vere Group, please welcome Andrew Coppell.
Thank you, Kelly, and good afternoon to you all, Lady Mayoress, ladies and gentlemen, and our young apprentices. Thank you all for coming here today to help us formally open the De Vere Academy in Liverpool. Particularly warm welcome to Colin McKeown from the Liverpool Film Academy and his colleagues who have generously provided this facility, and to David Way from the National Apprenticeship Service, whose funding of the De Vere Academies is hugely appreciated, and finally also to David Brennan from Liverpool City Council. I've actually stepped in today, I suppose in football parlance it used to be the number 12 shirt, but you know there's so many shirts, numbers up to about 50 these days. I'm substituting for my colleague, or Chief Executive of the group, Richard Balfour-Lynn, who has had to attend a meeting in London at pretty short notice. I think it's fair to say that the De Vere Academy and the whole concept is Richard's brainchild, but he's collaborated closely from the very outset with Kelly Rickson, of whom more later. We now have 6 De Vere Academies. The first was opened in January 2010 at Cheadle, near Manchester, and the latest 3 are in Liverpool. 790 young people have either completed the courses, customer service and chefs, or are undergoing the courses at the present time. And you've met some of these young people here today, and it's hugely heartening, terrifically heartening to see all the young folk progress. They're growing in confidence and they're developing skills, and we expect to reach a number of 2,000 young people going through our courses by the end of the year. I mentioned Kelly earlier. To some of you, you may find it surprising that she's actually self-effacing and unassuming. But I can understand that others outside our business may have a different impression. She is fiercely determined, and tends to get what she wants. The other side of that, of course, is that she and her team have achieved their demanding objectives. They always deliver. And I'm absolutely certain, ladies and gentlemen, that the De Vere Academy here at the Film Academy and indeed at Silkhurst Court will do exactly that, and indeed justify your faith and your support in this great city. We're proud of her achievements, as indeed are her family, some of whom are here today. Personally, it's wonderful for me to be back in Liverpool, having been involved in previous lives with the Liverpool Moat House, which some of you may remember, no longer standing. Thank you to the Earl of Grosvenor, and Aintree Racecourse. I understand there's a bit of football rivalry in this city, as epitomised by in fact, the Benson family, who I met earlier on this morning. So in an effort to be diplomatic, I'm wearing a tie that's got a bit of red and blue, and there's a bit of green as well, as you can probably appreciate. I have a personal interest. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for coming here today to celebrate the opening of the De Vere Academy. As I said, we're quite confident that we can justify your generous support, and we look forward to working with you closely as we take this forward. Thank you very much indeed.
Period of time that this has been planned for. So the first thing I'd say is congratulations to Kelly and her team for what I'm confident will be, over the coming years, an excellent initiative for Liverpool businesses more widely in the city region, and young people in Liverpool and the city region. I don't know how many of you know this, but it's British Tourism Week this week. The reason why I know that it's British Tourism Week this week is because Liverpool City Council is heavily involved in promoting the notion of Liverpool Tourism Week. And there is a good reason why the City Council is promoting Tourism Week. The visitor economy has been identified as being absolutely central to the transformation of both the city and the city region's economy. And obviously, the visitor economy is a particular industrial sector which relies very, very heavily on the skills of the people employed within it. And we believe that the De Vere Academy can make a significant contribution to the skills base of the visitor economy within the city and the city region. And that's why we are supporting it, or one of the reasons why we are supporting the establishment of the Academy. The importance of sectors like the visitor economy doing well is particularly important in a place like Liverpool, particularly in the current economic and labour market context. And the reason for that is that Liverpool is likely to suffer a lot more heavily than other parts of the country as a consequence of the current squeeze on public sector spending. Much higher proportions of Liverpool's workforce are employed in the public sector than elsewhere. So the consequence of that is that the private sector, if we're to get out of labour market difficulties, the private sector, we must look to stimulate even higher levels of job opportunities than elsewhere in order for Liverpool to do well in the future. Because of that, and in particular because of the potential impacts on the labour market and potentially what happens to young people when there are labour market downturns. We know in this city what has happened to our young people in the past in labour market downturns. They have failed to find work, and the social cohesion consequences of that long-term unemployment amongst young people are very, very serious. The De Vere Academy, of course, is providing some of our young people with an alternative route, a route which takes them from the very basic foundation level of education in partnership with other education and training providers in the city, through the level 2 apprenticeships that are offered in the De Vere Academy, and a pathway into level 3 apprenticeships through an innovative partnership with Liverpool Community College. And for that reason, the reason that young people will be supported to do well in a labour market downturn in this city is the second primary reason why Liverpool City Council is very pleased to be associated with supporting the De Vere Academy. So on those two counts, on the basis that critical set of businesses that are important for the economy will be supported, and because young people, and often some of our most vulnerable young people, will be supported, we are very happy to be associated with this initiative. I would just end by wishing everybody well in this venture. I understand that over 100 apprentices have already been recruited to the Academy, and in particular I wish those young people well as they start on their journey into the world of work. Thank you very much, Kelly.
Everyone.
It's all right, I'll get it. No, I want to sit down.